This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
So we are back with Paul Bianchi with Bianchi Tillett Developers. And on the first half of the show, we were talking about how you help people build custom homes. Now I'd kind of like to pivot a bit and discuss how your company invests and does development projects. So what is it your company is like first of all, you said you do spec builds. Like you mentioned the project in San Francisco. About how many spec build projects are you focusing on right now?
You know, I would say as a company, about half of our business, we're building homes for clients.
Okay.
Clients come to us, ask us to build them a home. The other 50% of our business is building spec homes. And that could mean multiple units or just one unit, like the San Francisco project. But we specialize in small infill subdivisions. So we'll buy anywhere from 5 to 15 acres of land. We'll get that approved for roads and utilities and a certain amount of lots. And then we'll get the plans approved and we'll build those homes. So for instance, right now we have a really nice project in West Roseville. It's 9 lots called Brady Estates. And what's unique about this project is the lots are all half acre in size.
Wow.
So we have homes already designed, approved to be built around the 3,000 square foot range. And because the lots are big enough, every lot can support an ADU. And ADUs are very important in these days. People like to have that in their backyard for family members.
Oh, they're so great. Whether you want a family member, whether you want to rent it out to somebody, like multi-generational, there's just so many. You know, you have that college kid that won't launch. You know, there's so many uses for it.
Oh, absolutely. And that is a good point as well, is a lot of people like to Airbnb those ADUs and darn near pay their household mortgage.
Yes. I was on Airbnb the other day with my wife, Valerie, and we were just trying to figure out some place to go. I was like, oh my gosh. Like we were looking like outside of the region. I was like, Val, let's just see what we can Airbnb get here locally. And for like, $1,100 a night, $1,200 a night, these nice places. And that's just one night. You got 30 nights you can rent that sucker out.
Yeah, absolutely. Liz, my fiance, is a bit of an Airbnb enthusiast. She's one of the super hosts, I think they call them.
Yep.
And so she does that just as a side gig, and she does quite well doing Airbnbs.
So you're developing these lots, but you're also open to investors, right? Coming and partnering with you on these deals.
Yes, absolutely.
So what does that typically look like? Like how does somebody come and say, hey, Paul, I'd like to partner with you on a project?
Sure. So we have a list of projects where we've either already purchased the land or we're already in contract escrow to buy the land. That's when I share it with my investor network, so to speak. Basically, they come in, they'll commit an X amount of money to help me buy the land or close on the construction loan. But once they put in their money, then I build everything with the construction lender.
Okay.
Once the project is complete, we sell the project. And we are very transparent on the project throughout the build. The investor has their own login to our software system that gives them insight to every contract, every photo, everything for that job site.
Similar to the custom home design?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then once the home is built, we will generally share 30% of the profits of that project with the investor that helped us buy the land.
Wow. So what's a reasonable rate of return for somebody investing with you?
So the profits on a project can be quite high, especially in some of the Bay Area projects we're currently doing. I would say an investor can expect anywhere from 15 to 25% ROI on their investment.
Okay, 15, 25. What was it? Off there we were talking about how, people are lucky if they're getting 3% in their savings account and a hopeful 10% in the stock market.
Yeah, absolutely. So I meet a lot of investors that have a fair amount of money just in the regular savings account because it's federally insured. But you know how that works. They're making anywhere from 1% to 3% return on their money.
Yep. And
then I have a lot of investors that are in the stock market, right? And they'll have it all spread out in different funds and different stocks. And we all know you hope to make 10% return on your money in the stock market, but you also could wake up and the stocks went down by 50% in a given day.
You can't really control that.
No. And so I like to say, it's real estate. It's not going to drop by 50%. You invest in real estate, and then a company like ours improves that real estate by building a beautiful home on it and then sells it. There's built-in profit any way you look at it. I don't care what the economy says, what the interest rates are. We've just generated profit off that real estate.
That makes sense. You improved a product, the land to a custom home or a spec home. And then so you said 15 to 25%. About how long does it take when somebody invests with you for them to, get that money back?
Yeah, good question. So we target 12 months or less. That's our goal. We like to get into projects, again, that are already ready to be built. And we have a schedule. We can build a home, depending on how big it is, anywhere from 5 months for the smaller homes, all the way up to 10 or 11 months for the bigger homes.
Okay. And then once the entire project is sold out, is that then when the project is closed, is that when they get paid, or are there milestones along the way?
So if it's a single home, like some of our Bay Area projects, it's when that home is sold, the investor gets paid out. Same as me, as the builder. I don't make a dollar till I sell a home, right? So that's when the investor gets paid out. If it's a smaller subdivision, like we'd like to do the infill subdivisions, it's every time a home is sold on that project, they get part of their payout.
Okay, so it's not all or nothing. It's, there's some milestones along the way.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if somebody wanted to reach, are these accredited, non-accredited? How does this work in terms of who can invest with you?
Both. We're not a public company. We're allowed to let friends and families, acquaintances, which is a lot of our investors. But I have some bigger brokers that like to bring their portfolio of investors, and they're trying to help their investors grow their portfolio. They'll bring them to me, and we'll get them signed up on one of our projects as well. Okay.
And then what's the best way if somebody's thinking about investing with you? What would be a good way to start that conversation?
Literally reach out to me personally. I like to be involved with the investors from start to finish. I like them to understand the process, see it from my view. Visit the job site with me if they feel like it. I usually like to log them into our software program so they can see how they're going to have visualization of the project. But quite frankly, it's just text or call me, and I'd be happy to meet with them. Okay. When you say log into the software, I think about clients that I have who are like, I don't even want to log into Zillow, let alone how easy is it for them to access the software and have the visibility that you're describing? It's pretty easy. We just need their email address, and Janelle in my office will send them a login. They'll create their own password, and then they'll have visibility on everything for that project. But I hear you saying that. A lot of our investors never log in. Oh, right? Really? So what we also do in addition is the project manager for each project. Every 30 days, usually the first week of the month, he'll put out a recap of all the progress that's happened the prior month, expectations of the current month, along with some photos. So if they can just read an email once in a month, they'll be fairly caught up. That's perfect. So it's like, hey, here's your monthly update. For the people who are want to be more involved, want to see the process, they can log into the portal. Absolutely. That makes sense. And then when Tom Davis and I met with you a while back, you had this Excel spreadsheet of all these projects in different developments, in different phases, and the expected return. So if somebody's looking to invest with you, they don't necessarily have to just partner on one deal. They can. It's almost like a menu. Like, hey, can I do that one? Is that how that works, or? It absolutely can be. So yeah, some of our bigger investors, they might put X amount of dollars on one project, another amount of dollars on a second project. Yeah, well, and that's a good point. When I meet with a potential investor, usually they'll come to our office / showroom, sit right there in the conference room. I'll pull that spreadsheet up on the big screen, and we'll just walk through the projects. And on that spreadsheet, I have links, and we'll just click on the links. It'll show them pictures, plans, site views, so they'll really understand the project from start to finish prior to jumping in. I like that. That goes back to what you were saying earlier about building a custom home. Do some research up front. Make sure the design is correct up front. It seems like you're taking a similar approach with the investors. Hey, make sure you're doing your research. Make sure that this investment vehicle makes sense for you before we decide to, move forward. Sorry, I'm peppering you with questions. I have so many questions about this investment stuff. What
What's like a good minimum? Like if somebody says, "Hey, I have $500," you're probably, "Oh, this might not be a good fit." How much should they expect to invest in order to be able to partner with you?
So usually when we're working with an investor, we like an investor that can help us, buy the whole piece of land, so to speak.
Okay.
Because after that, I can get construction lending to build out the project. But we take minimum investments of $100,000. We've had some investors invest up to $2 million on projects.
Okay. And then that'd be a good question too. Like, what's the range in terms of the scope? Because some of these, like the 9 lots in West Roseville, that's more than $2 million, I would imagine, for the build.
Yeah, and so on that one, actually, our goal was to raise $2 million, and we did raise it in increments of anything from $100,000 to $350,000.
Okay.
And there's actually still room on that particular project if anybody wants to jump in.
There you go. So just reach out to Paul Bianchi, or you can go to madeformorerealty.com. Say, who was that? I want to invest in real estate. And this is cool too, because you're investing with a pro. This isn't like you're on LoopNet trying to find a good deal and then swinging the hammer or trying to find contractors. Like 15 to 25% seems like a pretty good return for just some mailbox money, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of it too. We have a well-seasoned, experienced team to take that project from start to finish in a reasonable amount of time.
Awesome. Well, hey, is there anything I haven't covered, any questions I haven't asked that you think, hey, this would be really important for your listeners to hear?
Possibly just that if they're a client that wants us to build a home for them, I explain to them that quite often, by the time we're done with the home, they're going to have a good amount of equity in that home already.
Oh.
It's going to cost them less than if they would have went down the street and bought a 100% completed home, right? Those homes are full retail value. When we build them a home, we're building them at some, wholesale value. So it's always better to build from start to finish with a qualified contractor and think about buying completed homes as a secondary.
Oh gosh, I never thought about that. That's a really good point. All right. So Paul Bianchi with Bianchi Tillett Developers, thank you so much for being on the show today. It was a pleasure, learning more about your business.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me, Johnny.
You're welcome.
If you're anything like me, you are worn out. Life is just so tiring. You've got so much on your plate. Your schedule is full. You don't have time to do open houses and showings and doing those repairs on your home to get it ready for sale. That's why our friend Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty, he's got this special offer for you. Not one, not two, but at least 3 cash offers on your home. And listen to this, it's an as-is condition. So that's right, no need to do organizing, no need to do open houses or staging or any of those costly repairs. He'll get you at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. So you can be done, simple, easy, quick. So what do? You just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. He's got a great team that's going to help you every single step of the way. That's why they have so many great reviews. In fact, they have a 5-star Google rating with over 1,000 reviews. So go check them out. It'll be well worth your time. Again, just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty, Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty, and get more for your home.